We have breaking news on SportsCenter. The Oakland A's report to spring training today, but this man will not be there. It's bye-bye baseball for Kyler Murray. He has chosen to enter the NFL draft just as his number 73 jersey is hanging there in the A's clubhouse. He has announced moments ago on Twitter that he will dedicate his future to football. And I quote, "Moving forward, I am firmly and fully committed to my life and time to becoming an NFL quarterback. Football has been my love and passion my entire life. I was raised to play quarterback, and I very much look forward to dedicating 100% of myself to being the best quarterback possible and winning NFL championships. I've started an extensive training program to further prepare myself for upcoming NFL workouts and interviews. I eagerly await the opportunity to continue to prove the NFL decision makers that I am the franchise quarterback. In this draft, he will attend the scouting combine, and we have pulled them out of the green room. Darren Woodson is back. Victor Cruz, they're getting ready to break this all down a little bit later on NFL Live.
All right, so if you're evaluating Kyler Murray, what does this tell you about him?
It tells me that he's watched Baker Mayfield and he's watched the success that Baker Mayfield has had. You know, they both played at Oklahoma. Kyler basically backed up Baker Mayfield there. And he's watched Baker grow not only from the college side, but into the NFL, and he's seen that success. Listen, this decision for Kyler Murray stems back to in 8th grade. You know, he's from the Dallas area. I'm from the Dallas area. He was a tremendous baseball player, tremendous football player. And they knew at some point this decision was going to have to be made. Which one was he going to play? It's about time that this decision has been made. But I think Kyler Murray will come into the NFL, and we've seen the success of Baker Mayfield. You'll see some of the same success with Kyler Murray.
I think the biggest thing that this tells us is that he's committed. I think the first thing that you think of when you think about Kyler Murray is he committed to the game of football? Is he committed to being there every single day through the good times and the bad? Because as we know, the NFL has its ebbs and flows. Is he going to be there when he gets hit or when he gets a nick and a bruise or something, and does he want to go to play baseball? That's the question that we've all had, and now he's silenced that with his commitment to the NFL, and now with the process throughout the combine, we'll see how it goes.
And the reason he has this edge and something to prove, and this has been a dream, the hurdle he has to overcome are the questions about his height. Is that a valid question in the mind of those who will be scouting him and those who will be interviewing him? How do you see that impacting his draft status?
Well, it just depends on the coaching staff and what organization you're talking about, because everyone looks at it differently. I look at the NFL now as far as it's being a wide open set as far as the quarterback position. We've seen smaller-ish quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson be extremely successful at the quarterback position. And I think Kyler Murray is a guy, not only as far as the athleticism, the arm strength, the ability to manipulate the pocket. I see a guy that can be extremely successful in the NFL.
I think he's got all the tools. I think there isn't a throw he can't make or an ability that he doesn't have, whether with his legs or with his arm. It's just a matter of him fitting into a scheme that'll help him progress in all those different areas and be behind him 100%.
I think you said one thing that Vic just said about being committed. You know, for forever, he's had these two commitments.
Yep.
And he's never been fully focused on just one. Exactly. Now we're going to see a fully focused Kyler Murray. His father, Kevin Murray, was a tremendous athlete in the Dallas area, went to Texas A&M as a quarterback. His uncle, Calvin Murray, played baseball in the major leagues. So this guy's been around both sides, but now we finally see him make this commitment. I think it's going to be it's a great decision on his part.
McShay has him going 13th overall to the Dolphins in his mock draft. You have a personal connection with Kyler. What more can you tell us about it?
Well, I think the personal connection, just knowing, being around him in Dallas and knowing his father, Kevin Murray, for a long time. Kevin Murray is the high school quarterback whisperer in that area. He's a guy that helps a lot of the young guys make that jump into the college ranks, into the pro ranks.
It's in his DNA, is what you're saying.
And it's been something that he's been around all his life. And this, again, this decision, they knew they were going to have to make this decision when he was in 8th grade.
It sounds like he's going with his heart.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited to see this kid play. I think he's got all the tools. He was an exciting player to watch at Oklahoma. So I'm excited to see how he fares in this process and how he does at the next level.
And Baker Mayfield, not only what he's done on the field, but it's a fascinating comparison because of his swag. Let's face it, he's infused a completely different attitude. I was in Cleveland this week. His impact there is second to none. What about the personality of Kyler Murray?
I think it
and
helps.
Leadership ability.
Obviously, you always want your quarterback, if you're going to draft him that high in this, you want him to be a leader. You want him to be a leader amongst men. And I think Kyler's done that. I think we've seen that at Oklahoma, and I think we've seen that throughout his entire career.
What's he like in that area?
You know, I don't know if he's the same as Baker Mayfield. Baker is a special guy in his own. He's a leader of men, and we've seen the Browns rally around him. I think that's what Kyler's going to have to grow into when he gets into the NFL, and I'm sure he's been that guy in college.
15 days to the scouting combine. Kyler Murray will be there. Much more from these guys on NFL Live at 1:30 Eastern. Darren, Victor, thank you much.
No problem.
Jay, thank you as well.
Anna, thank you.
Bye, guys. OTL is next. Kyler Murray's going to the NFL.